I heard about it and happened while I was drinking, I guess. It was brought to my attention and tried it a few times and I didn't like it. I don't know why I kept doing it, but I kept going back to using it.
I'm a recovering methamphetamine user. Also, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I spent the last year and a half substance using until I decided that I was going to, I was going to quit using.
Started doing more harder drugs and started using crystal meth and got into that and living on the streets. A drug addict who's struggling with homelessness and addictions right now. And it's kind of in process of recovering. I've been doing drugs since apparently since I was 26 years old. Wasn't that easy. Coming off of it is not that easy as well.
Background, I was through the residential school. I went through all those abuses. Coming from that, there's a lot of anger. A process where I had to heal from that anger. A lot of violence, you know what I mean? I was a very violent man. I myself was on fentanyl and Sarju, and I'm healing from it. I'm slowly healing. People said, "You're lost." I said, "Yeah, I was wondering. My spirit was lost again." I can admit that. So there was always that period where I went through it. I didn't feel that love, like I said. So I went through that program, that stage of anger, and the way I dealt with it is what happened. I suppressed a lot of that with the drugs, alcohol.
I'm here to talk about addictions, my life in addictions. I've been a fentanyl user for the past 6 years of my life. I was also a methamphetamine user. Started drugs at the age of 6 years old, and I just worked my way up. I was on medications for opiate using. To get off fentanyl, I was on Suboxone, and that was another drug in itself. So I was clean, but when I didn't have those Suboxone, those drugs to get off the drugs, I would be so dope sick and I didn't have the means to get the medication, so I'd go back on using because it's just like it's another drug. So I thought it was helping me to get off drugs, but it wasn't. I was getting worse. I've been trying to get sober for the past 6 years since I started fentanyl. And I've been to hospitals, I've been to detoxes. I think I went to detox 16 times, which I completed about 14 times. I've been to treatment once, and that's just recently. Judgment is a big one. You know, don't believe you want to quit, yet you do. That's why you're there. I'm my own worst critic. Nobody believed I wanted to quit, but I did more than I did.
Seems like just yesterday, had it all figured out, had a plan in place. It's crazy how time flies when you're off getting high on drugs someplace. I'm basically homeless, I roam the streets by myself. Haven't slept in a week and started to speak to myself. Oh well, these pills make me feel better, maybe tomorrow I won't even really need them. What I'm always saying, but I always end up eating them. I know I got a demon in me, always end up feeding them. I see them in a mere 3 years, I've been living with them. Questions and no one has the answers. Don't know why I still bother to ask them. Like who am I when everything is fiction? And where do I go? There's no one here to listen. Why do I always feel like I'm the victim? This is what it's like, life living with addiction. Who am I when everything is fiction? Where do I go? There's no one here to listen. Why do I always feel like I'm the victim? This is what it's like, life living with addiction.
So our children are watching their parents use these drugs and maybe passing it on as it's something normal in their family, when in fact it isn't. A lot of it is a trauma. We're still holding on to all the past wrongs that have happened to our grandfathers and grandmothers, our ancestors, and we're still dealing with a lot of those hurts. And rather than dealing with them, they're being passed down through especially addictions and violence, which wasn't our way. So it's important to remember who we are as Indian people. For us, it's all about family and getting together and visits and community and helping each other.
Currently facing an epidemic in our communities, and that's an overdose epidemic and also, an addiction epidemic. And a lot of our people are becoming addicted to drugs and alcohol and ways to cope that are unhealthy and negative. And the reason for that is because of residential schools, because of colonialism and what it's done to our people, because it's taken away our identity, it's taken away who we are as First Nations people. So a lot of our pride and a lot of our parenting skills has been taken away.
But from my generation, we grew up through the trauma and the environments that we grew up in. It was pretty harsh compared to the way they got to grow up now. I'm a part of a addicted family, which in our home, alcohol and drugs was just natural to be around, natural environment. And I've seen so much, the alcohol, drugs, prostitution, whatever you could think of, man. It was a harsh environment. It was hard to grow up in, but somehow I overcame it.
For me, I grew up in an alcohol environment, which meant my mother and father were alcoholics. And so by growing up in an environment, I thought that was a normal lifestyle. I do live a drug and alcohol-free lifestyle. I've been sober, I guess, 45 years. That's pretty much all my life. I've never drank alcohol. I've never done drugs. I let alone smoked a cigarette in my life.
Okay, well, I myself am a residential school survivor. So having intergenerational impacts, affected me in a lot of ways, actually, coming from a good family and being in a residential school. One of the things that school did was it actually conditioned me and got me ready for prison. That affected a lot on drug use, because a lot of us came out being angry, bitter. A lot came out scared. I've been to a federal institution. The same year I was out of residential school, I ended up in a federal institution, and I served a lengthy jail term for violence. When I was inside the institution, about 50% of the people that I met inside of a residential school were inside of a federal prison with me. There have been a number of other ones that have died because of overdoses, violence, alcohol use.
Do I really gotta figure it out? I'm just trying to make you proud from here while you're looking down. I know things change, remember days you were looking out. Now it hurts to say we seen the day we put you in the ground. Like where did I go wrong this life again? Strolling down memory lane just as I'm writing this depression, I've been fighting it. If life was different, I wonder what way it might have been. If it weren't for my babies, I probably might have quit. Pick the bottle up and put the mic down, but I did vice versa, now I could write again. Sometimes you gotta use that pain to be twice as nice as them. But I miss you dearly and that's a daily thing. Never thought I'd take this loss, seen all the pain it brings. Let the angels sing. Question myself, like will I ever be the same again? Sometimes the road we're walking on is paper thin. If you've been going through it, I know what it feels like. My healing is music, I don't know what just feels right. They say it's a dream, but to me this is real life. Sometimes on my down days I look in the mirror like I've been having hard times, yeah. I've been having hard times, yeah. I've been having hard times, yeah. Time to remind myself it's alright.
I've noticed that the impact of drugs, especially these hard drugs that are coming into the community, is causing a lot of children to lose their parents. Our young people are going at a very quick rate, and we're not losing the old people, we're losing those young family members that are lost to their addictions. It's causing a crisis in the families where we're seeing a lot of the old people are taking on the role of parenting, but not in the traditional sense that we've seen growing up, but rather by we need this. We need our grandparents to help us in raising these young ones that are left alone and are being neglected.
I've had nieces and nephews pass away due to overdose, and it affects everyone. Like overdosing is such a big problem out here and in the cities. It affects everyone, the whole family. Just don't do it, not even one time. If your friends are drug users, they're not friends. Get away, far away as you can.
It's basically a death sentence the way I see it. Like meth and fentanyl, those are the worst drugs that was ever introduced to our people.
Seeing hundreds of people Narcan, you never get used to seeing that. It's not someone's life. It still lingers in my mind every day. All the amount of people I've seen get Narcan or I've seen not make it.
And it ruined my life. It took everybody away from me. Everybody I know is either in jail or dead or still addicted. It's a really bad place to be.
I've been sober roughly almost going on almost 2 years. Ever since I lost my older brother over fentanyl.
Wake up in the morning, yeah, somebody gone. I don't wanna have to say goodbye, it always breaks my soul. I don't wanna miss nobody else, so to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I don't wanna wake up in the morning, yeah, somebody gone. I don't wanna have to say goodbye, it always breaks my soul. I don't wanna miss nobody else, so to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. We lost so many cousins and we lost so many friends, and we shed so many tears, so why nobody even care now? Can't take it back, won't take it back, just let the facts burn. I lost too much, that shit
granted. Watching all the time we passing, wishing we was all united. Come together, cause we family. Do it for the children, for yourself. We always here to help. Even when you think you all alone, you got somebody down. Only just a call away, we ain't really far away. Why so many think it's hard, easier to walk away. It's harder when you hide the pain. Life will never be the same. Life keep going down the drain, tears rolling down our face. Wake up in the morning, yeah, somebody gone. I don't wanna have to say goodbye, it always breaks my soul. I don't wanna miss nobody else, so to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. I don't wanna wake up in the morning, yeah, somebody gone. I don't wanna have to say goodbye, it always breaks my soul. I don't wanna miss nobody else, so to let it go. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go.
Well, for me, growing up, I was I always grew up around drugs, and peer pressure introduced me to drinking and alcohol. So in my late years of life, I became an alcoholic, and I started taking pills, and it wasn't good. I became depressed and just depended on alcohol. Music was a big part of my journey through any kind of addiction, family, everything like that. It actually, music was very responsible for me staying away from the gang life, the drugs, the alcohol, and it basically kept me out of trouble. Best way it could.
If I could give a message to my younger self, I would let younger Allie know that, she's not invincible. I know that you get to a certain age in life and you think that, oh, that's never going to happen to me. And, that's only that happens to somebody else. Well, when I was 17, I went face first through a windshield in a car accident where I lost my right eye. And so that was a situation that put me in a very dark place for a very long time. And I never thought I was going to get out of that dark place. But I did. And that was just through ceremony. That was through going back to my traditional ways. That was through being with my grandmother. That was through becoming a mother and being with my children. Whatever dark days that you're facing, there is light at the end of the tunnel if you don't see it right now. It is there. And all of our scars and all of our mistakes are actually just lessons in life that are going to build us to be stronger and more beautiful people tomorrow.
I grew up in an alcohol environment, which was meant my mother and father were alcoholics. And so by growing up in that environment, I thought that was a normal lifestyle. I wanted to live a good life in a good way. So at the age of 8, hoop dancing was introduced to me, and that's where it kind of opened the gateway to learn my way of life.
It took losing everything and everybody around me to get to this point in my life. I'm now clean, and I have a home, and I have somebody who loves me and will support me through everything, and I have my children coming back to me, and it took a long time for me to get there. And only recently did people start helping me. I've been, like I said, through in and out of detoxes and treatments and jail, and I spent most of my life in residential school. I'm seeing therapists, and I'm reaching out to my NADAP elders, everything, because I know I need all the help I can get. I just keep asking, and if I come to a roadblock, I'll just keep asking for help, because I know people will help if they see that I make the steps to get clean, and I have made the steps.
A lot of support from people and a lot of friends from people, and then when they found out that I was a drug dealer and found out that I was pushing, they shunned themselves from me, and to me that really hurt me, a great deal, because I lost a lot of respect for myself and for other people. Your lack of integrity goes down from 100% down to 0, and that's a hard thing to succumb. You have to decide and have the willingness to really want to make that change for yourself. If you put the effort in and you really lean on the people and you're 100% sincere about it, there is support out there for you, you know. But like I said, it's all on you. It's all on the person themselves how it's going to be. You know, don't give up on yourself. You know, inside you, everybody has their own defects within themselves, and I believe that, you know what, if you reach out and you want the willingness to really change, do it. You know, if you think it, feel it, say it, it will happen.
I'd stay up for almost a month at a time. I didn't want to believe that I was that far gone and addicted to it. It wasn't until probably a year later when I got down to about 90 pounds when people started to notice there is help out there. If you just look for it, ask for it, there is a means of getting off the drugs. It's just dropping that ego and applying yourself, because no one really knows what you're going through, only you do. And in order to deal with that, you have to figure out yourself. And there's programs and lots of different resources out there that will help you through it.
What's the use of education? Useless as aging. Hard to take emotional scars and fear the same shit. My mind is always up in the clouds, I'm ill-fated. Ask you what you talking about, we ain't the same man. Walking in my shoes for a while, so many hate that. Acting like you better think it over with your head. Make the best of what you got instead of living on the edge. Get a taste of the ghetto, no more spitting it back. Instead of knocking me down, I'm always lending a hand. If you're looking for respect, you best be giving it back. And don't be trying to come around when you don't wanna break bread, when you don't wanna feed the demon, you a snake in the grass. I keep my enemies close, I mostly stick to myself. Learn to read, it's called survival of the fittest. When you fall down, tell me go and get it. And I hit it, then I'm out, then I take a deep breath and exhale. Is what I'm talking about. Come and save us from the madness and the hatred. They try to erase us, humiliate us, but we rise up, make a revelation. The Creator come and save us from this madness and all this hatred. They try to erase us.
We've been doing some work with our school, trying to get our young people away from drugs. We have a culture week every Tuesdays and Thursdays, and there they do some leather work, bead work. They do their own powwow outfits. They're learning to make that. They're learning to sing. We want to get them working into the trades. You know, everybody's not going to be a professor. Everybody's not wants to go to university, but we're going to try to get them into the trades, apprenticeship program we're trying to bring, and we're trying to keep our young kids busy so that they have a different focus on life. So we got that for our young kids to make sure that we give them a choice.
Well, it's a 3-strike rule we have. You get verbal warning, a second warning, it'll be the eviction. Usually after the first or the second, people quit because you know we're watching them. I don't want to evict people because I know there is no place for them to go. If they go back to a city that just gets worse for them, I think we need funding to help our people, not to kick them out of their homes. And it's not only the young people that it's affecting, it's also the elders. Grandchildren, children are selling out of their parents' houses, and now I don't want to be evicting the elders because of what the children are doing.
There's a big need for employment for our people. There's a lot of job opportunities, and it's hard to find those young people that are interested in going to get trained and leaving sometimes a community, maybe for a week or 2 weeks, but to find full-time employment, there's just it's hard to find those young people to fill those spots. So it impacts us. says that we don't need those programming, and we do. Just a way for us to keep them busy, and when they're busy, they're less likely to be involved in those kinds of things. Culture has always been a big part of our community, so we're with Bill C-92 and taking control of our children's well-being. We're really instilling back the programming that's been just a part of who we were. So a lot of programming where it's home visits, wellness checks, anything we can do to get our people outside the home and involved, then we see them and we can see if they maybe need some help, and we can offer them through what we know as our culture.
We need to remember our parenting skills, because before Europeans ever came here to this land, we had our own ways of knowledge systems. We had our own governance systems, and our matriarchs were highly respected in their communities. Our women were highly respected as life givers in their communities. And these are things we need to remember about who we are. And this is what we have to go back to. And that's why we have to go back to the land, go back to the language, go back to our grandparents, especially while they're still here. And that's something that we need to relearn. That's something that we need to regain. We need to remember who we are as First Nations people.
My pain is your pain. We feel the same thing, just in a different place. Environments we living in. All these little babies found at them residential schools. Damn, that's not cool, not one bit. Here's a fucked up thing they want us all to forget. They never gave a fuck about us like we ain't innocent. Racist comments on the pages that we grieve on. All you racist people and colonizers just be gone. How the fuck you supposed to be strong when y'all just keep on trying to drag us down for real, dawg? This made national news, but no one gave a fuck. As soon as the church started burning, y'all just ate that up. We couldn't make this up. Elders told us stories that were true. You only believe us now cause it's on the news. Just imagine people knew about it. They use God's name in vain, shit, I know they doubt it. I'm just trying to make a stand for the souls around you. I'm just trying to tell you babies that we found you. We won't forget. My pain is your pain. We feel the same thing, just in a different place. Environments we living in. My pain is your pain. We feel the same thing, just in a different place. Environments we living in.
We've had to take back some houses due to them selling drugs, meth, fentanyl, cocaine. Like those three are the major ones we don't like on the reserve at all.
At these people that are using, you know, I sat there and I've talked to them. You know, I've sat there and used it, a lot of them, and I've listened. And I've heard a lot of their voices, you know, and they're in pain, they're lost. That's what one of the elders told me. You're gonna go through that, you're gonna see that. The lost children. They slowly, they want to change, but they don't know how to forgive themselves. Basically, that's what it is. You know, and forgiving yourself, that's a hard thing for an addict to do. But if you can learn to realize, and Creator gave us a beautiful spirit. He gave us a beautiful culture. He gave us a connection with everything. If we can learn to accept those things again, we can learn to walk again.
I was quite hard on myself actually when I was coming down, because like I didn't realize, like, you know, I was a very, very happy and emotional guy. And then when I was faced with trials, I became a very bitter and angry person. And you know, I have a pretty violent background, you know, and that to me was a hard thing to not go back to. And you know, with using drugs, you become a totally different person. You're not the same person. Things become so easy for you. And when you're coming off and when you decide that you're gonna quit, you gotta put your work into it. Otherwise, you're gonna lose. There's no winning. There's absolutely no winning. The only way you're gonna win, you'll die. You're gonna die using.
What I want to tell kids who don't have somebody to steer them in the right direction is, don't take that first hit or whatever it is, because you'll be addicted. And it took me so long to get back to where I was. I've been addicted, I've been homeless, I've been through detox treatment. I've lost my family, I've lost my kids, I've lost everything that I ever had. I can't get it back, but I can just, at least I have my life, and just don't take the first one. You know, if you remove yourself, ask for help, go to an elder, ask somebody to take you to an elder and get help. Go talk to somebody, talk to your teacher, talk to anybody you trust, and tell them, say, I'm in a bad place, I need your help. I wish I did that in the beginning, and I would be where I am today. Because once you're there, nobody will help you. So
I'm just a kid who doesn't want to be depressed. I'm stressed, never cared how I dress. Now I do sad shit, but it's true. What did we do to you, mama? Why you always in drama? Yeah, over the years I gained a lot of fucking trauma. It hurt. Wanna know what makes me mad is that I never had a daddy. Always left in a hurry, so fast it was blurry. But that I love you, you should know this. I show this. You were always real with me, didn't sugarcoat it like mom did. But you don't make me mad, you make me sad. K-Dad, sometimes I wanna cry and die inside, but never mind. Pops, can you stop doing side and up and down? Please, can you turn your life around before you let me down again? Fuck. Had to take a breath before I freaked out. Yeah, when I was young, I always predicted that you guys would get addicted and mom would get evicted. And yes, they were convicted, and that's not the path I'm trying to go down.
This is what it sounds like when you hear a kid pouring his heart out. Hard drugs got his parents all lost now. He just wants a place he can call home.
We have a lot of powwow and drum groups here in the community, so some of the culture nights is about singing and drumming. We have our hoop dancer that everybody knows, Terrence Littleton. He's also teaching our young people, boys and girls, how to hoop dance, so he's passing his gifts down.
When hoop dancing was introduced to me at the age of 8, I had to learn some basic teachings of hoop dance. The way my uncle taught me, I had to learn these 5 basic teachings, was to listen, watch, learn, respect, and love. So still today, I still practice those special teachings every day on a daily basis.
So every time I do a performance, I always started with a prayer, theater. And for me, performing for my community, especially the youth, is very big for me, because it helps me reach out to them in the most positive way possible. And I just want them to see good things and do good things and stay away from the traumatics of life and stuff.
Pride on my side, can't swallow that. And if I could, I would, I'll take this land back. I'm sick and tired of all this government stuff. The poverty, the struggle, politicians loving this stuff. Meanwhile, everybody's sucking the drugs, no wonder why nobody's...
But hoop dancing kind of kept me in this good way of life, because again, with those teachings to listen, you know, the Creator gave us the gift of listening. Listen to your parents, listen to your elders, again, listen to your heart. And then you have the second teaching to watch what your teacher's doing, watch what your mentor's doing. And again, look in the good in people, never the negative. And the third, you know, is knowledge. Learn as much as you can here on Mother Earth. Learn from your parents, your elders, your mentors. When you go to school, your education, that's important. I always say respect has many faces. And, you know, when I go and perform, I always pan out in the audience and I see all these different nationalities sitting together, just the way our world should be. And the last is my personal favorite. I wouldn't be standing here, you know, speaking about my way of life. And that important one is love. I was told love is the key component to our world. And when we put all those teachings and we practice them on a daily basis, you become a different person. And the way you open your mind, your heart to the world and your environment.
I gotta work hard so I don't get bored and I don't feel useless. I gotta motivate all my brothers and my sisters, show them all we could do this. I gotta work hard if I wanna get far in this game with this music.
I gotta motivate all my brothers and my sisters, show them all we can do this. I'm still here trying to make it in this game. I'm a diamond in the dirt, family first, never change. Pops always told me never back down from a fight, cause you can't win them all, but at least you try, right? Cold days and nights, looking forward to the fights. Nice nights in the city, steady looking at them lights. Shine so bright, got me reaching for the stars. All I wanna see is future shit and fucking flying cars. Spitting all these bars, homie, this is what I'm best at. All my homies ain't doing nothing, no need to stress that. They grown man, so I gotta wish them well. You ain't putting in the work, you should be working on yourself. Never dwell on the past when the future's looking good. Never speak on people bad when they make it out the hood, cause they tried so hard and they made it. Honestly, the struggle fucking saved us. I gotta work hard so I don't get bored and I don't feel useless. I gotta motivate all my brothers and my sisters, show them all we could do this.
The best way that we're going to be able to win this battle is through going back to our traditional ways. It's through revitalizing our culture. It's through reawakening that warrior inside of us. It's through relearning our culture and language and going back to ceremony and praying for ourselves and each other and taking care of the next generations to come.
For me, it's always been about education and sports. When you're given opportunities that are going to be positive in your life, you'll be able to stay on that good path. But if there's peer pressure where others are going to want you to come and experiment with them or follow along and maybe go to a party or something, you're smarter than that. There's better choices out there. I see that there's a big push right now with technology, and education is the key. There's better choices for our kids in the community, and staying in school is probably the number one.
To make the right choice, get a career, get to work, don't stop. Always move forward in gaining employment, gaining a career, go to school, do something. We got education, use your education.
Yeah, it's a tough battle. It's a tough walk, But if you're really sincere about what you want and you see the values of life, things are gonna work out for you. There's gonna be ups and downs. Trust me, there's gonna be a lot of battles. But whatever it takes, whatever you think you need, go out and get it, because it's not gonna come to you. You gotta go out and dig it first.
But you gotta learn to love your spirit again. Tell your spirit it's okay. You healed before. Learn to forgive yourself. The most important is forgive yourself. People won't forgive you. But if you can forgive yourself, then you start healing.
And, a lot of people talk about intergenerational trauma, and that's real. It's happening. It's rippling through our communities. It's ripping our communities apart. But we also have the intergenerational warrior inside of us, and that's the blood that's in your veins. And that comes from our ancestors who fought against genocide for us to be here today. They didn't fight for us to be here today so that we can be living these lives that, that we're throwing away with drugs and alcohol. But they fought for us to be here today so that we can, make them proud, and so that we can remember who we are. And that's how we make our ancestors and our grandparents proud of who we are. And so it takes a community. It takes everybody working together, and you have to surround yourself with good people. And it might be hard sometimes, but it's something that you have to do for yourself and create boundaries.
What I really got to say about for the children and the future is drugs is not a life. It's nothing you want to get into. Stuff you need to stay away from. Education is important, really, really important. To keep your mind off of it, you gotta keep your mind occupied through music, sports, art, any form of art actually can keep you away from that lifestyle. This is my message to the kids, the future. My message is stay on the right path, always chase your dreams, and don't care what anybody says. It's you doing the best as you can, so just keep on trying. Don't give up.
They wanna give me when I'm fired up, my music is a higher force. Time to take the reins of making fire when my brother on it. Talk about desire, keep it burning when I'm walking. Smell the sweet grass in the air, it's all love. If I knew about the Bible and I knew about the struggle, if I never got to listen to my grandma when she talking, it was never on the culture, it was talking on a problem. It was forcing someone else to live a life that no one wanted, no one looking at the truth. They only seeing what we learning. With the knowledge in my head, it got the fire in me burning. How I need you grew up on the block. I'm right here, how I still keep on bringing it hard. I'm right here, got me still reaching up for the stars. Nobody made me, trying to teach me something I've learned. I gotta chase this, no one helped me out when it's hard. I'm still riding, never was a leader, but I got a lot to ride with me.
Face paint on, cause I'm ready. Gotta fight back, show 'em who we are. Fist in the air, cause we ready. Go high, yeah.
After we made a song called Stand Up, Standing Rock, I got a call from my boy named Taboo. He called me up one day, he said, hey Drees, you got a show in New York City. You wanna go and do it? Like, psh, of course I wanna do a show in New York City, man. Of course. So you know what they did? They flew me all the way to New York City. And I flew there. And when I was in the air, we flew next to the big city. And I saw all the big buildings from the movies, man. From all the videos, the rap videos. All those things I used to watch as a kid, and I thought, I'm gonna get there one day. I made it. Not only did I make it, but they wanted me to do a show there. So I did a show in New York City for thousands of people. Just thousands of people. And I was with Taboo. And we're getting ready to go on stage, and I said to Taboo, I don't know if you guys know who Taboo is, but he's a deadly dancer. Like, I'm too big to even, I can't even pretend to be him. But he's like, I can only do it with my hand, you know? But he does all this crazy people, all this crazy dancing and stuff, right? If you see the Black Eyed Peas videos, you'll see what he does. And I remember sitting right next to him, watching him dancing fast. And then it was my turn to come out on stage. And I said, hey bro, how am I gonna perform beside you? You're dancing crazy fast like that. Should I dance fast too? I asked him. I didn't even know how to dance fast. I just asked him, should I dance like you? And he looked at me, he's like, no man, don't try to be like me. Be yourself. Holy, that hit me hard. Don't try and be like me. Be yourself, he said. He said, stand in your own power. And I thought about it, and I was like, be myself. Is that good enough? I thought. And I blurted it out to him. I said, you know what? Is that going to be good enough, bro? Just to be myself? He said, of course. Let's go. Turn the beat on. Boom. Came time to do the show. Taboo's dancing all crazy all over the place. I was going nuts. And it was my turn to go. It was my turn to go. So I'm like getting ready to go. There's like thousands of people. I'm nervous. I'm very nervous. I'm like, holy man, what if I mess up? Then I thought about what Taboo said to me. He said, just be yourself. So what I did, stood tall. When it came time to do my verse, oh yeah, we playing on the earth. We camp on it in a sweat lodge, singing us. Holy, I just started going off. And the whole crowd, as soon as I stepped out, like I was back here, and then when my part came, I'm like, the whole crowd went, ah. And I just felt all this. I felt like I could have grew 20 feet tall. My heart just went. What I did, It made me feel so confident. What does confident mean? Anybody?
Yo, rest in peace to the ones looking down. I got so many up there that I wanna make proud like my dad. This shit is sad, he's really gone. I shed a couple tears writing this song cause I miss him. I miss my cousin Justin. I know we fucking love this, the way I do this music, and I can always trust him. I miss my homie Nate and all our conversations. He had real good vibes, a real inspiration. Now I miss so many, it makes me wanna cry. I lost so many friends without saying goodbye. Rest in peace, Tommy died getting money, Mike. And now you're up there with my pops, hope he's doing alright. My nephew Creed, I thank you for your dad. He showed me a better life, put me on the right path. I know I see my dad again, I see him smile. I try my best to really, really make you proud. Some days it's hard not to cry. Never really got to say goodbye to ya. Tears pouring from my eyes. I just wanna say my goodbyes to ya. Cause this pain, it won't go away, go away. It won't go away, go away. It won't go away, go away. It won't go away, go away.
It won't go away, go away. Don't expect you to understand and know my pain. We do with bad vibes, but good things are underway. And we gon' meet again, but that'll be another day. Rest in peace to all the souls missing. And then those that took the road, I wish it chose different. Always think of them down here, we always gon' miss them. Until the end of your name, we always gon' get it. And all prayers that stay forever, they will not be forgotten. Always keeping you right next to me, right where my heart is. And I never thought I'd see the day that you be departed. Got me mixed in my feelings like it's turning me heartless. But I keep my mind strong, keep busy with passion. This music is my therapy, I'm taking some action. I reminisce of the days we would kick it and chill. I know if you were down here, we'd be kicking it still. I got too many to name, but no, I think of you often. The pain's always there, but I'm hoping good feelings will blossom.
Some days it's hard not to cry. Never really got to say goodbye to ya. Tears pouring from my eyes. I just wanna say my goodbyes to ya. Cause this pain, it won't go away, go away. It won't go away, go away. It won't go away.